What's up, everybody? We are back.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to a Metalhead's Journey. Yeah. Hey, look, Adrian's not here, so unfortunately that means we can't continue to go down the top 50 metal albums list of all time. But we were planning on doing this too, so we're just doing one review for you this week. This is going to be the new album from Avatar called Dance Devil Dance. Now, I know for everybody here, I think the first time we all heard Avatar was
on this
reaction video, that we did a couple of months back of The Dirt I'm Buried In, right?
Yes, from this album.
Yeah, and look, like the video did well. We got some good views on it, but it wasn't so much of the fact that it was the amount of views we got. Dude, Avatar Country is so nice. You guys are so welcoming.
Yeah, the community.
And man, we really appreciate that because we've done some other bands, Queensryche, that like haven't been very nice at all. Queensryche, like, I mean, like we did really good reviews of the album Queensryche Operation Mindcrime, but like all those fans were like super mean to us, Queensryche. So it was really nice to have the Avatar fans welcome us into Avatar Country. We really appreciated that. So, we did a bunch of different reactions. I think we did like 5 different songs, something like that.
It was somewhere between 3 and 5. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. So we knew when this album was coming out, we were going to have to review it. So that's why we're here today. Hey, hopefully also you got a chance to see our YouTube short. It's probably somewhere around over here that you can find it. Hey, go check that out. That's a new thing we're going to try and do every week with some new albums that are coming out. We're going to do like a little 1-minute review, listen, 1 minute.
Yeah, so
just kind of give initial thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, we may or may not do a full review of an album if we do a short, but if we do like now, then we'll give you a full review. So
yeah. So hey, as you guys are listening to the review here, hey, drop your favorite tracks down in the comments. Give us what your score for the album would be, and tell us where you think this ranks in. Tell us where you think this ranks in Avatar's catalog. So, hey, let's get going, and then we'll hit the metal rundown here. So, Avatar, formed in 2001, is a Swedish metal band from Gothenburg. The band was originally formed by drummer John Alfredson and guitarist Jonas Jarlsby. The band has had some success in the U.S. with their song New Land, which peaked at 20 on the Billboard charts. Avatar has released 9 studio albums, including their latest album, Dance Devil Dance. So I went back and I checked out that New Land song because that was one that we hadn't heard yet. Pretty damn good. Yeah. Pretty good. It was a few... I wish I remember what album it was on. It was like a few albums back. It was before Avatar Country, somewhere in there, but it was good. Dance Devil Dance was just released February 17th, 2023, and it's the band's 9th studio album. The album was recorded in the Swedish wilderness, far away from all the perceived glamour of the big city and modern studios. I like when bands do that. You usually get like a more focused, driven record, so I like that. The lineup for the record includes Jarlsby and Tim Orstrom on guitars, Alfredson on drums, Johannes Eckerstrom on vocals, and Henrik Sandelin on bass.
Thank God you're in charge of doing names.
Well, look, hey, I apologize if I butchered any of those. I tried.
Much better.
The album has produced 4 singles so far: Valley of Disease, Dance Devil Dance, The Dirt I'm Buried In, and Violence No Matter What. Yeah. All right, so let's hit the metal rundown here. Let's just jump right into musicality, musicianship. What'd you guys think?
So, I wanted to say this, and I don't want to get flamed for this, but I didn't really know what to expect from an Avatar record as a whole. I've never listened to an entire Avatar record just because we've been doing the reactions for them, and I wanted to avoid their discography. This is very much a modern nu metal record to me. It gives me like modern nu metal vibes for most of the tracks.
I think that's fair. The vocals do that, right? Like a lot of times the vocals are heavy. I can't place it, but it's definitely it's so funny because I never thought about it, but you're right. It's in that genre somewhere in there.
I know I'm going to get crap for this from the community, and I apologize. I'm just trying to give frames of reference for myself for this album. I got a lot of, like, Slipknot meets System of a Down meets, other nu metal bands, right? Vibe.
I think System is, like, the easy comparison because they're like the first mainstream band that did like a lot of wacky shit. And so now it feels like that's like an easy point of reference, but I thought the same thing when I heard it. So I'm with you.
Yeah. So, going into the record, like, especially after my first listen through, and like I was able to like place it, like, oh, this is just like modern new metal. Okay. Like I can get with this. All my subsequent listens, like in that vein, I'm like, dude, if this was released like in 2000, 2002 or 2001, like this would have been top of the charts, at that era, right? Musically, I enjoyed it. I think enjoyed all the musicians. I think what's the standout for me, just the guitar work and obviously the vocals. I think pretty much carry most of the songs. I mean, all the songs are pretty vocal driven.
Yeah. I've gone back and listened to probably 3-4 records from them, trying to dodge some of the songs that have been recommended for us over time. But I've heard, Hell of the Apocalypse, the whole album, Avatar Country. I've heard Hunter Gatherer, and there's one more that I'm missing that I know I've heard. And this one just kind of it fits more near the Hell of the Apocalypse sound for me, like in terms of like being pretty aggressive through most of the record, minus Jason's favorite song, Train, right? And the dirt I'm buried in. Like super aggressive record. Like most of the songs on here are all very straightforward and aggressive, which is just really cool. And it's just, I don't know, I like it when bands do really good music and it's not super serious. Like I don't want to go like to the extremes of wacky Anthrax, like early Anthrax and stuff like that. Yeah. But I don't think it goes to that. But it definitely has some fun. But then it has very serious moments like violence, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
But it really is just it's fun to hear so many styles within the music, right? I mean, you have like the Dirt I'm Buried In, which is just this really just catchy pop rock song.
And
Train with this bluesy feel to it, and then everything else is just punishing.
Yeah. I'll get into some specifics when we get on to top tracks there, but it definitely has a modern new metal sound to me, at least to my ears, anyway.
Yeah, but one of the things that was missing, I think, in a lot of new metal, not all of it, but a lot of it was really good guitar solos.
Yes.
And this album definitely delivers some very good guitar solos as well. Jason, what do you think?
As far as musicianship, I thought it was solid overall. The bass stays under the main riffs for power, which is fine. I would have liked to at least let some of the bass shine in at least one or two of the songs to have their own moment, but that's not really the direction it goes. But to Dave's point, like the band is really the strongest point of it is truly the vocals. Like the vocals carry most of the songs, whether the songs are taking seriously or having a free for all and having some fun. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, entertainment value. I mean, how'd you feel about the entertainment value for the record, Jason?
Overall, I enjoyed the album. I can let it play in the background. I really only have one skipper throughout the album. It's like I said, it's good music as far as entertainment, as far as having in the background, playing in the car on a drive or whatever, or just like there's a few of the songs in there you can just let it rip. So I mean, it's solid.
Yeah, for me, I think, Dave, now that you said this, I just can't unthink it. But you're so right? Like, because a lot of these songs come in just over 3 minutes. None of them overstay their welcome, right? So it's just each song is kind of in and out. It's got some good moments in it, some heavy parts, or some good musicianship, and then it's out. And there's none of this like 12-minute long droning like maybe a future album that we're going to talk about, right?
Probably.
So. For me, I thought the album was very enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. And I got to listen to it. Even though it came out on Friday, I got to listen to this probably 5 times.
Yeah. It's a relatively short record. I think it's just over 40 minutes. 41 minutes, 16 seconds. Pretty short record. If we're going to talk about like specific tracks here, I think just overall I want to say that the album feels to me very front-loaded, and I kind of want to expand on that in a second. But the the tracks that I think are really, really good, I think there's a really good 1-2 punch for me, and that's On the Beach and Do You Feel in Control. Specifically On the Beach, I think that song is probably my favorite song on the record. Now, there's lots of other good songs on the record. Like the first couple of songs are pretty good as well.
Dave, why don't you follow the rules and give us your top three?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'll go in order. So The Dirt I'm Buried In is my number 3. I think it's a really good song. Do You Feel in Control, and then On the Beach. There you go. I'll let you
feel
go.
like The Dirt I'm Buried In, do you feel like that song, like, you maybe have like an irrational kind of feeling for it because it was the first one we heard? Because I don't get the feeling that's like a super popular song for some of the Avatar fans out there, but I like the song. Yeah, I have it as my honorable mention, so I'm with you.
It has the highest plays on Spotify of the tracks on here. Now, that's probably because it was a single and it was released early. But, yeah, I do have some issues with the track listing, but I'll let you guys go through your top tracks first. I don't want to steal anybody's thunder here.
I'll go real quick. So I have The Dirt I'm Buried In as my honorable mention. Number 3 song for me is Chimp, Mosh Pit.
It's a good song.
Dude, what a banger. What a fucking banger. Number 2, Dave, you're right. Great song, On the Beach. And number 1 song for me, I listened to this album the first time, and I heard this song, and I hated it. I hated this song. I was like, what is this ridiculous garbage? And then the second time I listened to it, I was like, okay. And then the third time, shit was so good.
Is it gonna?
And now it's like, now it's the first song I go to whenever I go to the record, man. I gotta want to riot, man. Ba 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 ba. Dude, come on.
Yeah.
A nasty, nasty fucking bridge, and probably the best guitar solo on the record. That's a great song.
I'm gonna be probably the most mainstream here, and it's I don't pay attention to this stuff enough to have it influence me, but apparently I guess I liked most of the singles that were released. My number 3, Valley of Disease. Number 2,
Also a great song.
Dance. And my number 1 is Dirt I'm Buried In, and it was the first song I've heard of them, and for me it's still my favorite song so far.
Yeah.
Now I only have one song that's a skipper. It is a low light, and that is Train.
Yeah.
I don't like that song at all.
There is one skipper on this record, but it ain't Train. It's Hazmat Suit.
I was going to say it's Clouds dipped in chrome. And so I'm glad that our 3 skippers are one after the other, and they're all at the back half of the record. And so that brings me to where I'm at with the track listing specifically. I think the track listing for this record was probably, in my opinion, poorly ordered, because I think they put it's not just that they put their best songs in the front, because like I said, I think Dirt I'm Buried In is good. I just think that they
Gotta Wanna Riot's back there too in the back.
And that's a good song too. But like they really needed to reorder some of the back half of this record, because even Violence No Matter What, while I appreciate the song, I think the song is just fine. Like I don't think it's a standout track. And so like you have these last 4 songs on the record that really like don't
They're
like
very different.
And like basically for me, after The Dirt I'm Buried In, I'm kind of just done with the record. I'm sure people are going to be upset about that, but I think if you would have done better of reorganizing this track listing to kind of inject these songs, like intermingle them with the better songs on the record, then it would have given me more of a reason to listen to it all the way through, like, you know, after we're done with this review.
Yeah. But Dave, I mean, look, here's what I tell you. Obviously, I'm sure they think these are the strongest songs that they put together. So to them, I'm sure, you know,
I'm sure this was on purpose.
As good as the front half of the record, right? I mean, this would be like them releasing the album a little bit, letting the fans listen to it, and then going back retroactively and reordering it, right? I'm sure to them, Train it's probably their favorite song, Jason. You son of a bitch.
So the only reason
it's hard to do a song in which you're telling a story sing along style and not always pull it off, and this is one of them.
Yeah. like my only rebuttal, Josh, and obviously we're just speculating here. Neither of us really know, but the only reason I think that bands do actually know what their better tracks are is because we've seen this time and again where albums are front loaded. So like,
That's true.
It's this happens enough to where I just don't believe this is a coincidence anymore. So yeah, that's all.
What's the best song on the Black Album?
Oh my God! I mean, I'm biased because I've heard that record so many times, so I'm tired of all the
What's
hits.
the best song on the Black Album?
The God That Failed.
Exactly, Jason. Struggle Within.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's like so. God That Failed is what, the 10th song.
Something
Struggle
like that.
Within's the 12th song. Yeah. So I mean, look, sometimes I mean you got classics that are buried back there, deep cuts. But I mean, you're also right. I mean, look, when you've heard the Black Album a billion times, right? Like those songs start sounding fresh and new, like the ones at the back that you probably listened to half as many times as you have Enter Sandman and Sad But True, right?
Yeah. So anyway, that's just my small little soapbox for this record. Like I said, I think it stumbles across the finish line for me.
Yeah. Audio production, you have Jay Rustin. He returns as the producer. This is the same guy that produced Avatar Country and Hunter Gatherer, and I think continues to do a great job. Album sounds great.
Yeah, I have no issues with the production.
Complaints.
It sounds.
I think Jason wanted a little bit more bass. I think maybe he wants a little bit of Bob Rock in his life.
No, I just needed the bass to have its own moment, and I can't tell you if there was a single moment in any of these songs in which it was a bass solo or just a bass by itself.
See, the problem is Jason's been listening to Love Bites and Iron Maiden now. Now he's like, he's
spoiled.
He's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, he's spoiled. Yeah.
So
all right, and then legacy. So there in this category here, we like to give our metal rating, just to give you an idea here of how we rate this. I know for a lot of rating systems, 7 would be an average. For us, 5 is average. So anything that gets a 5 or above is a various levels of recommend, and then obviously anything getting into the 9 to 10 range, that's just like an all-time classic record, right? And then anything sub 5 is various levels of we wouldn't recommend that record. So. I'll come out first and give my score. I think I like this record just on the first 5 listens. I like it more than I liked Hunter Gatherer. And definitely it's not as good for me as Hell the Apocalypse. And I think that's probably going to be a universal feeling for Avatar fans out there. So I'm going to come in the middle here. I'm just going to give it a flat 7. I think this is a banger. I think, there are definitely, I mean, obviously I think there's songs on here that I would introduce to people that don't know Avatar, since the first thing we got was The Dirt I'm Buried In, and now it's taken me down a journey where I've listened to more of this band than I have any other band that we've come across that I haven't listened to for the first time. So like this has been a super cool journey for me, and I really love Avatar, and I hope to get to see them live sometime soon.
Yeah. I'll come in here. I think I'm a little bit more critical of this than Josh is.
So Dave, not to cut you off, I apologize, but you gave this a 6 whenever you did the
initial
short.
Yeah. So that was after
one listen, so I'm curious to see how it changes.
So yeah, that was after one listen. I came out tentatively with a 6. My scores come up a tad, right? And again, reiterate, 5 is considered something we would say average. So I'm coming out this at a 6.3. I come up in a little bit. I think the first 7 tracks are like, I can put this record on from the first song and go all the way to The Dirt I'm Buried In. And then after that, for me, the record is basically over. And so it's hard for me to justify giving this a higher score if I'm stopping 4 songs away from the finish line, right? And
now I do remember a conversation we had where you said that this other album we're going to review next week, the new album from Love Bites, Judgment Day, that's coming up. You did say that the 2 songs alone on that record would already net a higher score than his Avatar record, but yet you just said that you can't give this album a better score because of the last couple of record or songs aren't that great. So I'm a little confused of your scoring system here, Dave.
Yeah.
But hey, this is just a shameless plug to let everybody know that we are doing a Love Bites review next week off the new album Judgment Day.
Look, my scores and my system are fluid. Like all these numbers are meaningless, but it's a 6.3 nonetheless. I thought the record was very enjoyable, right? Again, 6.3 for us is not a bad score. I feel like I have to constantly qualify that because I think everybody hears that and just assumes it's a bad score. Not a bad score. I recommend you listen to it. And if you're already a fan of Avatar, you don't care about my opinion anyway. You've already heard the record, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Fossil?
As far as the legacy is concerned, going into the scoring, it's hard to say since this is my first experience with the band, so I don't have anything to compare it to prior to this. But it's a solid album. It definitely gets a recommend from me, and I would definitely listen to more of this in the future. And I'm kind of waiting to see if we're going to do any more reactions to songs before I listen to any of their early albums. But as far as a score, I gave it a 6.4.
Hey. Yeah, we've got a lot of requests for some live reactions from them, and that's one of the live ones we haven't done yet. We've done some Baby Metal and Love Bites, so I think we got to add that in. I think we got to do a live Avatar song.
Yeah. So hey, look, overall average between the three of us, looking at a 6.6. I think it's a very fair score. Again, that is a we would consider that a low B tier album.
That's
low,
fair.
Yeah. So low B, high C, and definitely a recommend. We think it's good.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, hope you guys liked the video out there. If you did, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're putting out weekly metal content right now. We got weekly metal reviews, metal reactions, all kinds of good stuff. So thanks for checking us out, and hope you keep sticking around. In the meantime, live long and prosper.
Take it easy, everybody.
I'm going to add one thing here. I just want to shout out quickly to all of our subscribers. On our 42 videos, we've already reached 1,000 subscribers.
Hey.
And we could not be happier.
Thank
Later.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.